Hi there. I am Dory Stoll with Prairie Scraps, and I'm on YouTube and Facebook, so look me up. My private group is called Prairie Scraps Chalkin. So if you are not already in my VIP group over there, look me up, message me, ask me for an invite, and I'm happy to help you out. I am crafting here tonight from my little Airstream camper, my vintage camper, and we everything looks like it's falling down behind me, so I apologize for that. But I have a special order T-shirt I am going to be making here, and then I'm going to do a little extra recording of actually making the T-shirt. So bear with me while I do a little housekeeping. But this is the transfer that we are going to use. Let me put this down a little bit. Here we go. All right, so this is the transfer we're going to use, and I'm actually going to cut it right here. Do you see that relief line right there? I'm going to cut that there so that I can put this in one of my bigger binders. I find I don't always cut the backing, but I do like to kind of cut these 12 by 18s that I use for t-shirts in half so I can put them in a binder. So as you can see, I've already used the God is Good part, and I'm going to be using that as well as the all the time and the little splatter marks. We're going to do that too. So I'm going to get these cut apart, put you down a little bit so you can see. I'm just doing some DIYing, like showing you how I make my t-shirts. And I make t-shirts to order, but I make them each one at a time. I don't cut anything out in a sheen. I do have these silk transfers that I use, and then as well as a permanent ink. And ink works so much better than using like the vinyl, because the ink sinks into the fabric and stays there. Okay, so we're gonna start out with God is Good, and I'm gonna set this aside. This is the other part. Let go and let God. That's the other part. So you have lots of options. There's also a y'all on here, which I think would go nicely with our howdy y'all or welcome y'all transfer. So we're going to start out with this part of it. And the first thing I want to do is I actually got this provided to me by my customer because she has a t-shirt, or she has a shirt she wants me to do. So you always want, when you're doing inks, you do want to go ahead and put something in between the layers of, between the back and the front, because you do not want it to leak through to the front or to the back, because it is sinking into that fabric. So this is our sticky ink mat. It's kind of like one of the Cricut mats, but it's specifically made to be used. You can use it over and over. I wipe it down in between. I'm looking at this. Okay, that was just a piece of fuzz on there. I was worried. Like, have we gotten the t-shirt dirty already? So I'm going to try to get this in the center. We do have a larger one, but mine is kind of older and used, and I'm not sure it's been restocked. So I'm going to try to get this in here in the middle. I'm sorry, this is kind of a tussle here. I want to get this on here. I don't want it to be stretched out because we want it to be just naturally laying. I'm going to get this. I have a very small area to work on, so I apologize for the smallness of my area. Like I said, I'm in my little Airstream camping craft camper. So that's where we're at, and we make do with what we have. Actually, I feel very blessed. It reminds me of my grandparents because they used to own this, and my uncle owned it. I'm getting warm doing this. Tussling out with this too much. I don't want to stretch this too much. I'm trying to get it to lay without wrinkles. And as you can see, it does stick to that mat. So to kind of work with it to get it nice and flat. And you want it to be even Steven. So I'm going to go with this little V part being the center of the shirt. I'm hoping anyway. Manufacturers do not make shirts like they used to. That's what I can say about it. They used to make these a whole lot better. All right, let's give it a go here. We'll be starting with some white with the God is Good. I think I'm just going to find the center. Don't stick it to itself. Don't stick sticky sides to itself. You want to just fold it in half, the non-sticky side, the good side. And that is what we're going to use for our t-shirt. And I want to make sure, doing a little spot check here, that side to side, it's good to go. Side to side. I don't want it to be crooked either. So I'm trying to make sure we have kind of the top seams figured out as well. Hopefully this is going to work. There we go. All right. I think one side is a little high. So the cool thing is this is sticky. The ink pad is sticky, so it kind of, or the ink mat is sticky, so it keeps it there too. Oops. Let's get you down here so you can see it. All right, there we go. And I apologize. I'm going to do this upside down so I can see it better. It'll be just a little bit. All right, so there we go. Again, I'm just going to double check to see that kind of looks like I have it in the same spot, side to side, top to bottom, all the places. And we're going to go ahead and feel to make sure, yep, we have mat underneath it. This is our narrow mat, and it's there. It's good to go. Okay. We are going to use our ink, bright white ink for this. And this is water soluble. It does not smell. If you've ever used inks, this is really a nice product to use because it does not smell bad. If you've ever used inks, they can be pretty smelly. So this is a good product. It is washable. It's not washable. It is permanent, but you can kind of get it out if you make a little boo-boo right off the bat. Okay, and if you're worried about top to bottom, like going over, you might want to protect yourself with some blue tape. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, I have never before done this on a t-shirt because I usually just kind of wing it, live on the edge. But because I'm doing a special order, I kind of want to protect around it because I don't want it to go off. So we're just going to blue tape it down. It's not to tape the transfer down. It's just to protect it. I think end to end will be okay. We'll just take that off. And this comes completely off of the transfer. You just want to make sure it's down. Ink does not have to be worked fast. We're just going to take up our little squeegee, a small squeegee, and squeegee it on there. And I can already see like the white is coming through, so I may want to go back over it a second time because it's kind of, it looks like it's not going on very thick. If you want the supplies for this project, just go ahead and put good, and I will get you that link to that whole transfer and all the supplies. I also sell t-shirts, so either message me or comment below if you were interested in a t-shirt. Just put T. I will make you a t-shirt. Currently, my prices are $20 for a short sleeve t-shirt, including the shipping. So I ship out, or if you're local, that I can tell you my local price. So we are here in Idaho. I'm just going over it because I can kind of see the fabric through, so I can see that it's soaking up really good into the fabric, and I don't want to have it come off. Okay, then all the excess, we're going to go ahead and put it right back in to my jar here. Ink does come in, oops, I just lost my lid, jars and these 3-ounce jars as well as singles packets. And I highly suggest if you're just going to do a project or two to start out with the singles packets and then move on to the jars if you find it's something you want to do often. Quite a few people. All right, then we're going to peel this slowly. I maybe should have kept that out so I could keep an eye on it. If you peel slowly and you find that you didn't get, I think it just looked more pink because it was already, I had used red or something pink on it, purple maybe, on the transfer before. So that is looking fantabulous. Phew, I can breathe now. Doesn't that look good? Look at how easy peasy that is. Okay, then I'm just gonna take this off slowly. And it's a good thing I did use that tape because it did protect it a little bit. I did go over onto that tape, so that's good. We don't want to go over on the t-shirt, just on the tape. All right, we might need that again. And I don't normally dry this at this point, but I am going to dry it today because I want to do some layers here. And so first, set that aside, and I'm going to use our dryer. This may set it a little. So once you get it inked, in order to set it, you want to go ahead and put it on, use an iron with a piece of parchment paper or one of your Cricut heat tools, and go ahead and do the highest heat that you can use for the fabric. I sure hope she likes this because it's permanent now. I'm probably doing a little bit of heat set here, but I will also go back and use, you know, a little handheld heat press iron type of thing with parchment paper. And just for a few minutes, heat set it. And this will not wash or dry it. You can wash and dry this to your heart's content, and it totally will. I'm just going to stop that. It will dry. This is going pretty, that's pretty set. Wet there. Also, before you peel and do anything to it, you want to make sure that you check your fingers for any ink on your fingers, because that, if you put a little fingerprint out here, you'll be upset with yourself when it looks so good. This does not look good. I'm just trying to stockpile a little bit of video. So if you're watching this later, I appreciate it. Just go ahead and put hashtag replay so I know you were here. That helps me know you're here. I'm just a small business making a little living here. Kind of paying for my craft addiction or therapy, as you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we've got that done. Next, I want to go ahead and use all the time. And I do want a little bit of an overlap. And she requested a pink. I sent her a picture. She wanted a bright pink. Now, I did not have a totally bright. So you can overlap inks. It's totally fine. You do want to make sure. I'm going to check for the middle again because I just want to be more specific. And I am doing a little bit of a overlap, not a lot, just a little. Put that right in the middle of that V. Put all the time on there. Get that down nice and good. And we're going to use our tape again, making sure to put that inky side towards the transfer. Oops, I don't want that on there so hard. I hope that doesn't peel it off. Nope, it's looking good. Okay, because we already used it. You want to be careful when you have like newly inked because it can kind of peel off. So you just don't want to wreck your new project. Okay, here we go. And so Couture Coral is the color. I don't even have this in a jar. I just have this in a paste packet, and that's fine. We only need this part. So what you want to do is mix that up nice and good, and then cut a corner off, and I'm going to squeeze it right onto my squeegee because I'm going to then shut it so I can use this again. Throw that part away. And before you, if you noticed, I kind of mixed that up real good so that you could, so it was ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to use my, when you've been in my club or a Perks member or a designer for over a year, you get our yearly squeegee, and this is last year's color. I'm just squeezing it right on there. Can you see that? It's kind of like a coral color. I'm hoping she likes this. Our ink colors are a little more limited than our chalk paste. I guess I didn't check to make sure that wasn't out over there. Our ink colors, not as many colors as our chalk paste. They're a little more complicated to make. We actually got to see them mixing and making our, I think it was inks. I think they make our inks in-house, which is kind of cool. When we were at home office in Salt Lake City, that was pretty fun. Well, they're going to start the lawnmower right outside here, I guess. That's nice of them. They know I'm in here, so I don't know what's going on. I know he was going to start the lawnmower, but I didn't know he'd bring it around. to the front. He must be like have a dead battery or something, because he's probably hooked it up to the little more here. These individual packets, they will totally work for more than one use for the most part, unless you have a really big project. So know that you're getting, you know, good value for your money, either with the jar or those jars. I don't usually use those up. We use them a lot, and they do not get used up very fast. We usually buy them maybe once a year, unless it's like white. Actually, Dune. I'm going to go ahead and wash my fingers before I change out here. Whoops. I forgot to restart my video. Whoops. I stopped it. That was, maybe I did start it. I don't know. All right, here we go. Peel to reveal. I'm going to peel it nice and slow. And like I said, if I missed a spot, I can go back and fix it right away while it's still down. See, very, very little overlap there. So we're just going to peel that off. And oops, that is peeling apart my the fabric off of my transfers. I'm just taking that blue tape off carefully because I don't want it to rip my transfer. That's not good. Slowly, you can kind of hear it. It's kind of peeling away some of my transfer. Okay, putting that back on, and I'm going to get those splatters and do the splatters to add just a little bit more of that pink on there. This is the splatters. If I was using this on wood or, you know, another surface, I would definitely want to do like a fuzzing. But since this is our first time using it, I'm just going to go ahead and I think we'll do that. I'm going to put it all down and go over the whole thing. I think there's not many here. And then I'm going to flip it around, I think, and put it on the other side. And since I would dry this, but because it's, I think I'm going to use our tool for this. This is our little tool. I'm just going to use this like a paintbrush and go through. I want to make sure all those little dots are covered. And then we're going to just splatter paint this. Isn't that kind of cute? How they have a little splatter. Very thoughtful. Our transfers, like, yeah, you can find millions of things online for your Cricut, which I'm not knocking that. We actually have a lot of our shapes you can get on the Cricut to go with it. So you can cut out your surfaces to go with your Cricut, to go with your designs. But it can be overwhelming to try to decide what to do. And this way, it's like the design and the spacing and all that kind of thing. We have designers that totally come up with all of this. So I'm just going to set this aside, make sure my fingers are clean, and then take this off. Cute. And then I'm going to just flip it over so that that big side is over here around my God part. I think. How would I do it otherwise? I guess I could do it. I think I just want to do these right here. And I am a little curious. I think I'm going off. I'm going to take a piece of cardboard and just stick it under there because I don't want to take a chance. So this is one way to get around it. How do we get that in there? Okay. I'm just going to do these bigger ones. So I just want it under the bigger ones. I want to make sure I'm not going through to the other side. That's my biggest concern. Get that under there. Because it will go through to the back. I've done that once and I won't do it again because That's not a mistake you want to make. Okay, I'm just kind of doing these bigger ones. And you could do transfer, you know, especially inking, you can do them a couple of times. You don't want to go too many times on a transfer because they start to bleed through a little bit. So you just want to careful that you don't gunk up the holes too much or it will not print out nicely if you overdo it. So just getting that one there, putting this back, making sure my fingers are good to go. Take that off. That looks good. Kind of gives a little balance to what's over there. And then I'm going to take this out of there because it is kind of making it lumpy. And you can see, look, it went through to that piece I put in there. So it's good I put it in there. And then I just want to do a little bit more splash across the top here. I'm going to put this down nicely and then do above here. I don't want it to look identical, so I'm going to work on just trying to be as random as I possibly can. I might do that one and not the double one, but get these little ones down. Okay, here we go. Well, that's good. They got the mower going, I guess. We have terribly long weeds, dandelions going in the front yard. Oh my goodness, it's a mess out there. I don't know about you guys, but it's been cold and rainy. We tried to get it going yesterday. It was actually kind of nice yesterday. Beautiful day yesterday in Idaho. So no complaints about yesterday. Today is pretty cold and kind of wasn't going to do that one because it looks to me like it would too many times. I'm going to do this one right here. And then I think there's one right there and right there. You could do this however you want, do the splashes. That other transfer actually had the splashes on it. So I'm just going to use the little one here, not the one up there because that's going in. Okay, let's make sure we get these nice and good on here. Got a little extra on my thing. So this I'll just take and fold it over so that it's saved for another time. Keep that in a couple weeks. It'll stay, you know, it kind of seals up on the edge there. And then we're going to definitely wash my hands and wash my tool. This just the ink comes off of our transfers and our tools with just plain water. So I'm just using a you know, water baby wipe. You can also use Lysol wipes. A lot of people do it. But I am just going to do that. So I check my fingers and then we'll peel here to reveal. So really quick and easy. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. I will hold that up. I'm going to put that back on the transfer so I can wash that in a hot minute. And I will get this turned around so you can take a look at that. Isn't that the cutest? Oh my goodness. So cute. Let's turn you up here. Turn you up here. Thank you so much for joining me today for my little ink DIY. And I'll be taking that mat out right away too. I don't want it to dry on there because I want to get this back with the packaging on it. I'll wipe it off with just plain water really lightly so it doesn't get stuck on there. But isn't that the cutest? I think it's so cute. Anyway, if you want a t-shirt made or if you'd like the materials, just let me know and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you have a very blessed evening and keep on crafting.